Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, I have a chilling story for you. It's about a strange hotel, a disappearing room, and a key that might open the way to another world. Make sure you listen carefully, because after the story, I'll explain some useful English phrases you can use in daily life. Now, let's dive into today's story. Elias Thorne was very tired. His nice suit looked as worn out as he felt. After a long client meeting that went late into the night, he decided to take a different road instead of driving straight home. All he wanted was a place to sleep, nothing fancy, just a quiet room and a few hours of rest. As he drove through the dark, empty road, he saw an old, flickering sign in the distance. It read, "Blackwood Inn, rooms available." Elias let out a deep sigh of relief and slowed down. But something about the sign felt wrong. It leaned to one side, and the light blinked weakly, as if it might go out completely. Still, he pulled into the small, rough parking lot, too tired to keep driving. The building looked very old, like no one had taken care of it in many years. The windows were dusty, and the wood on the outside was cracked and faded. "This place is creepy," Elias whispered to himself, "but I'm too tired to care." Inside the lobby, the air smelled of dust and old, forgotten things. Behind the front desk sat an old man with a cold, blank face. A single round glass rested on one of his eyes, and his sharp gaze didn't move as Elias walked in. "Good evening," Elias said, his voice dry from the long drive. "I need a room for the night." The old man made a low, grunting sound and slid a heavy brass key across the counter. "Room 27. Cash only," the man said flatly. Elias quickly paid, though a small feeling of fear started in his chest. The key felt strangely heavy and very cold, and the number 27 was marked in an old, fancy style. He walked up the creaky wooden stairs, which groaned loudly under his feet, and then down a narrow, dimly lit hallway. The wallpaper was peeling off like old skin, and the faded carpet felt rough beneath his shoes. Finally, he reached room 27 at the very end of the hall. Inside, the air was thick and stale, like no one had opened the door in years. The weak light bulb flickered, throwing strange, shifting shadows across the walls. Elias dropped his bag and lay down on the bed, too tired to care about how unsettling the room felt. Within minutes, he was fast asleep. In the middle of the night, Elias woke up suddenly. At first, he thought he was dreaming. There was a soft sound, almost like wind, drifting through the room. But then it grew clearer, sharper. It wasn't the wind at all. It was whispers. Many whispers. Murmuring voices seemed to come from inside the walls, surrounding him. He couldn't understand the words, but they sounded urgent and secret, like people sharing dangerous secrets they didn't want anyone to hear. His heart started to pound, and his mouth went dry. Elias grabbed the heavy brass key from under his pillow, holding it tightly as if it could protect him. "This is just an old building," he told himself. "Probably the pipes or something." But deep down, he didn't believe it for a second. The whispers rose and fell like waves, sometimes so close they felt like they were right next to his ear. Eventually, exhaustion overcame his fear, and Elias fell back into a restless, uneasy sleep, though the whispers never fully stopped. When morning came, Elias woke up early, ready to leave this strange place behind. But when he looked at the door, his body went cold. The door was gone. The wall where the door had been was now completely solid, covered with the same faded wallpaper as the rest of the room. There was no handle, no frame, no way out. It was as if the door had never been there at all. Panic exploded inside him. He ran to the wall, banging his fists against it. "Hello? Somebody help me," he screamed, his voice cracking. No one answered. The silence was heavy, almost suffocating. Desperate, Elias tore at the wallpaper, ripping it away with shaking hands. The paper came off easily, but underneath was nothing but cold, hard wall. It was like room 27 had been sealed off from the world completely. Hours seemed to pass before Elias noticed a thin crack in one corner of the room. His breath caught as he pushed against it. To his shock, the wall slowly moved open, revealing a narrow, dark passageway. With no other choice, he squeezed through the tight opening. When he stepped out the other side, he froze in disbelief. He wasn't inside the Blackwood Inn anymore. He was standing in a bright, modern hotel lobby filled with sunlight and the sweet smell of fresh flowers. Guests walked past him casually, and a friendly young woman at the front desk smiled warmly. "Good morning," Sir. Can I help you? She asked kindly. Elias staggered forward, still trembling. Yes. I stayed in room 27 last night. At the Blackwood Inn. The woman's smile faltered slightly. Sir, there's no Blackwood Inn here. This is the Grandview Suites, and we don't have a room 27. Elias reached into his pocket and pulled out the heavy brass key. His hand shook as he slammed it on the counter. This key. I was given this for room 27. The woman picked up the key, confusion written on her face. Sir, this key is very old. And our rooms only go up to number 25. Completely shaken, Elias left the Grandview Suites and drove back to where the Blackwood Inn should have been. But when he arrived, his breath caught in his throat. There was nothing there. Only a wild, overgrown field and the broken remains of an old foundation. No sign. No parking lot. No building. It was as if the Blackwood Inn had never existed at all. Later that day, Elias sat alone in a small roadside diner, turning the brass key over and over in his hands. That's when he saw something he hadn't noticed before, a tiny, almost hidden symbol carved beneath the number 27. It was the shape of a raven. Elias's mind began to race. Years ago, he had read about a secret group called the Whispering Raven Cult. They were said to meet in places that appeared and disappeared like ghosts. Only those, invited by the raven's call, could ever find them. Suddenly, everything made sense. The Blackwood Inn wasn't a normal hotel. It was a doorway, a portal to another world. The whispers he heard weren't just random noises, they were invitations, calling to him. The key wasn't meant to open any door in this world. It was proof that he had entered their secret place. And maybe, just maybe, they wanted him to return. Elias shivered as a cold realization settled over him. The true mystery wasn't that room 27 had disappeared. The true mystery was that it had ever appeared at all. He clenched the cold, heavy key tightly in his hand and wondered, would he hear the whispers again? And what would happen if he did? Alright, here are 10 simple daily use sentences with meanings. These can help with practical English learning. I need a room for the night. Meaning, asking for a place to stay, like at a hotel or guest house. This place is creepy. Meaning, saying a place feels scary or uncomfortable. I'm too tired to care. Meaning, when you are so exhausted that nothing else matters to you. Somebody help me. Meaning, a cry for help when you're scared, stuck, or in danger. Good morning, sir. Can I help you? Meaning, a polite way to greet someone and offer assistance. I don't understand what's happening. Meaning, used when you are confused about a situation. I can't find the way out. Meaning, when you are stuck somewhere and don't know how to leave. I need to get out of here. Meaning, when you want to leave a place quickly because you feel unsafe or uncomfortable. This doesn't make any sense. Meaning, when something is strange or hard to believe. I have no idea what to do. Meaning, when you feel completely lost and don't know what action to take. I hope you liked the story. Tell me your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with friends who love mysterious stories. Thanks for watching, see you in the next video.